Turn off the lights. Hey everyone, Random Randy here. It is Vlebruary day 2. I just got out of the shower, so my hair is a frizzed mess because I haven't done anything with it yet. It has been a long morning, so the kids are in the dining area playing with beads and pom-poms and stuff. And I'm gonna try and sneak up on them and see if maybe I can catch them doing it. They'll probably stop once they see the camera though.
I just picked up mine.
You got some pom-poms there. What pattern's on those?
No, yellow and black.
What's the pattern though?
So,
Are they spots or are they stripes?
Stripes.
Stripes.
Oh yeah. I love mine. It's so fluffy and soft.
You having fun with those beads, Killian?
I'm having more fun with my pom-poms. They're so cute. I want them. Nothing wants some because they're so cute and fluffy. Oh. Who wants a pink one?
Are they soft?
Yeah, they're my cheeks. Oh.
You're so cute sometimes. Did you find another bead you dropped? Good job, Killian. Yeah, you're Killian. And out there is our dog.
I didn't get those. That's so nice.
It was very nice of you to give it back to him. Thank you, Hunter, for being so nice and polite.
The first I met color that I used to like.
Yeah. Renegade is actually a rescue dog from Afghanistan.
No, she isn't. You're being weird.
Hunter, I'm not being weird. Renegade is a rescue from Afghanistan. This has been our morning so far, and it has been a long, long, long morning. I've not had enough coffee to function yet. But today's video is going to be kind of montagey, just video of the day, I suppose. So there will be some more of this added later, and I'll get it all edited tonight so it will go up first thing in the morning for everybody again. And probably I will be getting the tutorial for Saturday finished up today too, so that'll be ready to go up then. Yay for being a little bit ahead, because after Killian's total meltdown this morning, which I'll probably talk about more later, I'm glad that I'm a little bit ahead because I am so behind in the classes for my online conference. Thankfully, they're going to be up for another week plus after everything's done on the 2nd, so hopefully I can get caught up. I'm just taking notes like a fiend, and it's really hard. I'm a whole day worth of classes behind. End of today, there will be 12 classes that I have not watched. I got one done this morning. Hopefully I'll get another 2 or 3, and I'm just going to have to keep picking away at it. It's the best I can do. So I'll talk to you guys later. Hey guys, back for part 2 of Vlebruary / Vlogentines day 2. It is significantly later than I was hoping it would be, primarily because I had the second part recorded and because it is in a different frame rate than video is when I use my regular camera. In order to get it to work on my computer, I would have to go through the trouble of running it through a separate program to get the frame rate constant instead of variable, because my laptop camera is garbage. So here I am just recording this again because it's going to be quicker to do this and just pop the memory card into the laptop and get it done. So, to elaborate on this morning and the insanity that occurred, Killian has his comfort object, his little gray stuffed teddy bear thing, Bear, and he was mad at me about something and threw it, which has become his normal MO of late, and he chucked it into the sink. Unfortunately for everybody involved, I didn't do the dishes last night, so he managed to chuck it into a container full of water, sitting there to soften up all of the food gunk on there to make it easier to wash today. So, Bear needed a bath. Well, Bear needing a bath was a huge big problem. So Killian, over the course of about 40 minutes, proceeded to scream, cry, go nuts, which, as I'm sure you can imagine, is super the most fun ever, especially first thing in the morning. Which, by the way, Killian somehow managed to sleep in until after 8 o'clock both today and yesterday. Okay, kiddo. Very unusual for him, so I know he's got a lot going on developmentally, brain-wise, that's messing with his sleep and his eating and his mood and everything in life, the universe, and everything. So anyway, Killian losing his mind for what felt like forever. And I'm going to put this on the tripod because it is heavier than I was expecting and my arm feels like it's gonna fall off. But, so Killian, crazy, super unhappy Killian. So upset. Killian managed to not only freak out for about 40 minutes, which, as I'm sure you can imagine, is extremely stressful when you have a kid shrieking his head off like a fire siren. Which is stressful for every living creature in the house, including the cat and dog, who were both practically cowering in a corner in the bedroom when it all finally blew over. But during the course of his tantrum, Killian managed to purposely slam over 2 of the chairs at the dining table and snap the spindles on the back rest portion of 2 of them, which he had done on one of the other chairs before, so I really wasn't surprised. But I went to pick him up to prevent him from doing further damage to himself, inanimate objects, or potentially other living beings in the house, because he is a 45-pound ball of flailing fury when he is upset. And in so doing, picking him up because he was thrashing and going crazy, as toddlers do. Unfortunately, my 3-year-old is the size of a normal 5-year-old. So, went to pick him up, and in my attempt to hold him so I could go set him in his room where there's nothing he can hurt himself on, managed to wrench my thumb, which is no fun. Can still bend it, can move it this way, move it in small circles, however, cannot move it that way without excruciating pain shooting down my whole arm like fire. So that's a blast and a half. Can still crochet, can still type, can do pretty much everything but pick up something heavy with it or try to grip something really hard with it. So just gonna keep massaging it and stretching it and maybe wrap it if it doesn't seem like it's getting better in a day or 2. Because I don't want to have to go and sit in the emergency room for like hours upon hours and hours with the kids. Just no thanks. Nope. So I managed to get another one of my workshops done this afternoon. I'm hoping to finish up another one of the shorter ones before I go to bed. It's now shortly after 10 o'clock. I'm hoping to get this thrown together and edited so that it'll go up first thing in the morning. Super tired. But I have so much crap I need to get done. I contemplated having coffee at like 5 o'clock this afternoon because I'm just that over it. So, have more workshops to do. I worked on the shawl that I'm pattern testing for Holly from Yarn Journey podcast a little bit. I got about halfway through the second pattern repeat today, so I didn't really get a lot done, but I got a few rows. If I keep chugging along and do a few rows every day, I should have it done by the end of the month, I'm hoping. And probably finish up the row I'm working on for Dad's blanket tonight. get to bed at about 11:30, read for about an hour, get up somewhere in the realm of 5:30 or 6, and hope that the kids sleep a little later than that so I can get another class or two in. It's an online writing conference, so they're still going to be available to me for another week or two after it's done as of tomorrow, so I'm really hoping I'll be able to get them done. If I can get 2 or 3 a day done, I should be able to get it done in time. And I have been taking notes like a fiend. It is redonkulous, people. So many notes. And because I wanted to show them before I start making plans for them and secreting them away in places and then forgetting about them, I got most of my books today. If you're in the Facebook group, and if you're not in the Facebook group, why aren't you? You should come join us there so that we can share pattern links and stuff and not worry about it getting sent to the spam folder on YouTube. Anyhow, I got 4 of my 5 books today. The last one will be here Saturday. Amazon was having I don't know if they still are, they might be, but if you spend $100 on textbooks, you could use the coupon code TEXT10 and save $10. So for just under $100, I ended up getting, because I also had credit card points, I ended up getting about $120 worth of books for just under $100. So I'm going to show you those books real quick, and then I'm going to quit because I got stuff to do and I don't want to do it, but I'm going to do it anyway because that's what adulting means. Doing stuff you don't want to do. So the first book that I got, I am not going to try to pronounce this because I have never learned any Welsh in my life. I was tampering with teaching myself Gaelic, and I actually have an audio course that I really should dive back into. Really like languages. Anyway, it's Welsh myths and, well, medieval tales. And I'm really drawn to Celtic mythology. I'm drawn to every mythology, let's be perfectly honest. I like stories from all over the world because I grew up in America, and people like to say that we're the melting pot, but we don't really have any super cool history, long overarching tales, oral history of our own, because writing was already a thing by the time America happened, with the exception of the natives, and I am not native, so there are many, many things about their culture that I know nothing about. I'd love to learn, but a lot of it is oral tradition, and more natives who only have certain dialects. There are languages among the Native American population that are completely dying off because there are so few people who speak them and are learning them that they're just completely getting obliterated from history, and there's no record of them. Anyway, I have a lot of books I've already collected about mythology, and I already have some Irish, and fun thing that I found out today, apparently Welsh is Scottish. Correct me if I'm wrong if you're somebody in the UK who knows, but I was reading today because I was like, what is the difference between Welsh and Gaelic? Because I honestly don't know. That's not anything that would be included in normal classes here that we would learn about. So, Welsh, I have 3 books on my shelf right over there that are Celtic, and one of them that is specifically Irish. So, now I have the rest of it all wrapped up. Also, because, as I said, mythology and such from all over the place. Don't really like history, but studying religions is cool for me. I am not a religious person. I do enjoy studying religions. I think they're fascinating, and I feel like every religion has something important and useful that can be gleaned from it. So this is Religions of Mesoamerica. I have always been fascinated with Mesoamerican culture, and when I was in college, they had a class that was supposed to be on stuff like this. Not enough people signed up for it, so even though I was signed up to take it, they didn't have the class because there weren't enough students, which really was a bummer. So Mesoamerica, Aztec, Maya, Spanish conquest stuff. Fun stuff. Other book because I realized, with the exception of a few Shel Silverstein books, I don't have much for kid-friendly poetry. I have The Complete William Blake, I have Robert Frost, I have Dante's Inferno, I have Paradise Lost by Milton. Those are not... I mean, some of them, I suppose, don't have anything that's really bad for kids to hear, but there's a lot of, I don't know, violent and just really deep themes that I'm not sure I want my 3- and 5-year-olds soaking up through the sponge that is their tiny brains right now. But this is the Waldorf Book of Poetry. There are actually a lot of poems in here that were in a collection of poetry that was in my primary school library. I do not remember what it was called, but even the layout of this, it's eerie how much the first few poems are very much in the same order as that book. So I don't know if this was inspired by that, if it's an updated version of it, whatever. But in here there are 425 poems by classic and modern poets, so that's probably the difference between the one that I found in my primary school and this one. But the book that I found in my primary school library, which had a particular poem in it, is the reason that I love William Blake. And if you know William Blake, you will probably know The Tiger. I found that poem when I was a little girl, and with the exception of Robert Frost and I suppose Shakespeare to a degree, if you can call Shakespeare a poet, with the sonnets and everything, really one of the only poets that I enjoy. And Maya Angelou. I have one of her books too, and I really, really enjoy. I think I got that one in middle school though. Anyway, rambling. Pretty much rambling to delay having to do the things that I don't want to do. So, last one, then I'm going, promise. Home learning year by year. It has kind of a loose layout for the best way to homeschool, in that there are certain things that your kid should know by a certain age. Here's about the time you should introduce certain subjects. There are some other books that were similar to this that I was looking at that were newer, but they had a lot of web links, and in most of the reviews for them, people complained that 90% of the links were broken and led to dead sites, and this does not have as many website links, but it links to other books, so I felt like this would be the better one. The other book that I have coming is Alpha Phonics. It's a learning primer to help teach your kids how to read. Hunter is getting better about that, though. We have a birthday party to go to Sunday, and he wanted to make the card for his friend today. And he asked me how to spell it and completely wrote it all by himself. Wrote out happy birthday, the kid's name, put his name in the bottom corner, drew a little picture, made a cake on the front. I was like, go you, good job. So, this is a lot longer than I was planning on it being. Oh, and the one other exciting thing that I wanted to mention, which I'm sure some of you won't care about, but hashtag mom life. That is my life every day because I'm a mom. And I know a lot of you are or had small children at one time. Even if your babies are grown up now, they'll always be your babies, even if they're not little kids anymore. Killian pooped and peed on the potty this evening. Yes! Super, super excited. He's about the same age Hunter was when I completely managed to potty train him in about 2 weeks. So I've, had the as logical a conversation as you can have with a 3-year-old with Killian that by the end of this week, we're gonna stop wearing diapers during the day. We're gonna start wearing pull-ups, and once we have about a few days without any accidents in the pull-ups, then we'll switch to just having those at night and actually being able to wear underwear during the day, because after he finished going, once he got done being upset, because if you have dealt with small children, you know that the first few times they're horrified and feel that they've lost a body part. And once he discovered that he had not in fact done that, and I told him how proud of him I was, he said, "Mommy, where's my underwear?" So once we've had about a week with pull-ups and a few days with no accidents, we're gonna make a big deal of going shopping for big boy underwear for Killian. Yes! So excited! Anyway, now that I've gotten the good news off of my chest after all of the ranting and raving about the ickiness this morning, so the day ended on a good note, even though it started off horrendously bad. If you couldn't tell this morning by the horrible dark circles I had under my eyes, I was stressed from all the screaming that occurred from that child. Love him. But oh my, I really wish he had a muzzle sometimes. Anyhow, I am gonna cut this and get it all edited, and this will be going up Friday. Saturday is gonna be the tutorial for the Squircle Afghan square that I guess you could also use as a dishcloth or even a hot pad, whatever. And Sunday will probably be another chatty vlog, and then Monday will be another creepy reading because I'm going to be doing Macabre Mondays. I'm going to be doing Write On Wednesdays, so Wednesday is going to be something related to writing. I might read an excerpt from something I'm working on. I might talk about some author business stuff. I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do for that yet. We'll figure it out. Thursday's going to be Yarn Talks, and Saturday is going to be Stitch It Saturday, which will either be a tutorial or a crochet with me video. I'd like to do a tutorial every Saturday this month, but I realize that life happens, so we shall see. I'm going to try, but if not, I'm going to try not to beat myself up too horribly over it, because I'm really bad about that. You know, you make this mental commitment and then you fall just short of it, and you're like, so horrible, ugh, why? Anyhow, gonna get this all done. I will probably talk to some of you guys on Facebook. Like, seriously, Joe, go join the Facebook group. You know you want to. There's so many of us there. We've got almost 60 people in there right now, and we're fairly active. You can go in there and share recipes. You can share things that you're working on yarn-wise, talk about parenting stuff, pretty much anything, as long as it doesn't violate Facebook terms of service, whatever. So, I will catch you all in the next video. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. Bye.